Good morning, everybody. This is Max Farrell. This is DexTrader.com. Today is March 23rd, 2018, and this is your daily update. Good morning, everybody. I'm appearing to you in all of my glory of everything that's happened over the last couple of days and weeks in humility. It's hard to be a transparent company in this industry. It's very difficult because if you come and you tell you the truth, we could stand a chance to lose you. If we omit anything, we stand a chance to lose you. If we don't say anything at all, we stand a chance to lose you. I'd rather lose you from telling you the truth than from keeping you here for a lie or a mission. And the problem with that, from our stand, is that it breaks that chain of events that needs to happen for a company to be successful. And I'm going to do my best because I sleep very well at night because I know that I've done my best with the tools that I have. It does not mean that I'm infallible. It does not mean that I don't make mistakes. It does not mean that I don't make bad decisions. It means that when I do, I'm an adult and I try to do the best I can to do the right thing to inform the people that it has affected. And first off, apologize. So, I'm very sorry. I'm sorry that I've made some of the decisions that I've made, but only in the circumstance that I've had only a couple of choices to be able to choose from. And so I had to do something. And sometimes not doing anything is a choice in itself. So let me explain to you what's happened. And let's go to the board now. And I'll show you what has happened here. Excuse me 1 second. I'm not editing any of this out because I got to tell you, I lost a family member a couple of weeks ago, and it was very traumatic, almost to a point of bring back a very large amount of things that have happened in my lifetime. Not to get too personal. But that set a chain of events that were happening. We also know that we have a lot of things happening in the industry right at the moment, and so with news and a few other things. Our Dex Copier service, and by the way, this update is only going out to you Dex Effects people right at the moment. The Dex Trader people get their own today. I've only missed a handful of daily updates. And this past week, I've missed 2. And it frustrates me, maybe I think even 3. And it frustrates me because I want to keep you up to date. But I also know that there's nobody else in my industry, my company, who can do them. And that'll be rectified soon enough. When we first started with the Dex Effects copy stuff, it was all about the numbers, and still is. And those numbers were always transfixed on the idea of what's doing well. And so if a pair was doing well, we used it. If one was doing bad, we didn't use it. So pretty simple model, right? We created the 3 or 4 bots at the time, each having their own pairs that some were doing well and some weren't, okay? And we used those into what we refer to as the max prime. Now, this is all great when you're first starting out and you get a little bit of an equity curve going. But then what happens when stuff starts to go bad? What do you do? Well, you only have a couple of choices. Stick with it, stop it, or reverse it. Those are the only 3 choices that you have. So, or quit. You know, you could just, like I said, stop it. You could just not do it at all. Now, the main problem that we ran into is that I made a decision when the Dex Grinch, okay, because we were using the Dex Grinch, was going bad, we switched to the Simply Forex and allow it to do its thing. But it was also going in a bad zone. You've seen this on an update from the other day. Okay? And then, so when it started to go bad, what did I do? Well, I shifted to a little bit of both in between. And I tightened everything up because I didn't want to be a lot of losses. So I went out of the zone what our statistics and our data showed. I went against my own data. And I choked a lot of things down so it didn't have enough room to to expand, even though that it was going into a losing mode, to go back into profit. So when I choked it, it made a lot of trades appear to be losing, but if I would have left them at where they were supposed to be, they would probably, or majority of them would have been in the winning zone. So this was a mistake on my part. The next thing that I started to do is I got very distracted with the data trying to build a perfect model, and there is no perfect model. I've been in negotiations with a company that it is a company, but they're more of a team, okay? And this team is loving what we have done with DexFX Copy and the idea and the concept of taking the data and applying it to a filtering system, okay? Because here's how this process works here at DexFX Copy. We all know that like the Dex Grinch, the Simply 4X, the Vader, the Conan, all these ones, they all get put into a filtering system, which then they filter down, and we could put into a beta, okay, because this is the alpha, this is the beta, okay? And then this would eventually go down to the max prime, okay? Where we ran into issues with this is that you couldn't have multiple bots on with the same pair because you would get a hedging process. One would be a sell sometimes, one would be a buy. And on companies like Oyanda, you would not be able to trade this. This trade would not appear, or the second trade would not appear on one of them. Okay, or it would close out the other one for a win or a loss. That's what's basically happened. So this model is very successful when it's done correctly, when it's done in maintenance properly. The unfortunate thing is that once it got past the second bot, it became almost impossible for one person to maintain it. It's true, especially one person who does as much as I do in my work life as well as my personal life. You could be good at a lot of things. You just can't be great at everything. And unfortunately, I had to, well, not unfortunately, fortunately, I had to reach out to somebody for help because I want this to be successful. I want this to be the biggest thing since sliced bread, to help as many people as possible get to their idea of success. This has been my mantra for years. And I've been in this industry now for coming up on 4 years of solid just fighting in the Forex industry for solidarity as well as honesty and integrity, have some sort of name here. So I hope that you see this. I'm not perfect, but I'm also a little bit of alone in this part of the process. My partner, Amy, and my partner, Brian, really great people, but they're not on this side of it. And this is where it's got difficult. So what did we do? Because you now understand what's happened. Excuse me for 1 second. You now understand. Death in the family, a lot of extra things happening. When your body gets toiled, you get sick. And I'm a perfect example of that. I'm a pretty healthy guy, okay? I do karate, I work out, I'm a little overweight, but I'm a pretty strong guy. And when I get sick, there's got to be, it's a statement. It's life telling me, hey, you got to slow down a little. You got to make some stuff happen. You got to make some changes. And that's what we're doing right now. This company, this group of people, this group of men and women that are working with us right now are doing basically the same thing that we are doing. I won't say they're a Copier service. They're not, because they didn't know anything about Copier servicing and all that. They were just a trading team. And the trading team provided me with some information. And because they were interested in one of the bots that I built, the Simply 4X bot. And they were very, very excited with it because they started to get some really good results with it, but in a different manner. So, hey, and I'm okay. You know, you want to use a hammer for a screwdriver, I'm probably going to go against it. But if you want to make the hammer bigger and badder and more efficient, oh yeah, I'm all for it. Because you're just taking the same model. If you're trying to make it something different where it's filling in a loophole, I don't want nothing to do with you. Okay? Because eventually it'll fail. All right? So the process that they have, which I'm really excited about, is because we're getting it exclusively. They're using it for themselves on their process, but they're going to let us copy the copy, right? So this is so cool. So let me show you that. So before we get started on, let me show you the other process. I want to kind of show you what's happened on the DEX, on the Max Prime. And granted, we have lost a little bit of money in the Max Prime over the last week since we started. Okay, I know some of you have gotten pretty hit, but this is all within the last month, because the first 2 months we were in a positive. The last we're not gonna. I'm gonna really, and hopefully with this solution right now, we're gonna fix this solution. That's what we're hoping on before the end of the month. But there'll be some movement we're going to have to do, and you're going to have to trust me in this opportunity to be able to move on, and hopefully we end out in a positive note for this month. But it's going to take some time, starting Sunday. Okay, and we're going to have to trust this week, upcoming week, with this company that's going to be doing the trading and the taking the SFX bot and maybe even one of the other bots that I have, and being able to really determine the proper direction for this equity curve, because the proper direction for this equity curve needs to reverse. It needs to go. We need to flip it. Okay, so we could do that. Again, the account's only down $7 overall. Not even $6.77. So not too bad. But you didn't. If you started in the beginning of the month, you may be hurting. You may be coming down to $35 in the hole. I get it. That's tough. You shouldn't have any multipliers on. If you do, you win against my advice. Okay. If you have a multiplier 3 or 4 on, then you've lost about $100, and I get that. Okay. The only offer of condolences I have is to be able to offer you other things within our organization. Okay. The learning systems, anything else you want to learn. If you see anything from Dex Trader that you want to learn, I'd be more than willing and happy to give you opportunities in there that would normally cost a couple $100 in return. Okay. Again, but I'm not going to be that person that if we have a bad week, I'm going to be giving everybody money. Okay. You're in it just like I am. You're in it to win it. And sometimes we got to scrape our knee a little to make it happen. Okay. And we did. We got a big knee scrape. Not a super huge one, but at least one. So let's show you what it looks like from inside our network. Same thing, $6.77. Transparency here. You're seeing behind the scenes of this is my master control system of the Max Prime system, okay? The DexFX copy system. And now I'm going to go here. This is our master control board of all the different copiers we have. Okay. Now this is the melding of the Pips team and Dex. So we're calling it the Dex Pips Copier. Whew. Now it looks like we have a couple of trades on. We have some sell limits on. We can see our trade history is pretty powerful. Just like as far as today, there's been, let me bring this out so you can see. I'm going to put on 100. There's been a lot of trades that have been put on so far today. Oh, wait. It starts up here. Sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you can see, you get skinned every once in a while. And here's a big one for the Great Britain Pound Audi. But again, there was some terrible news. They warned me about this. This trade really hit them hard. Everybody's having a bad week. Trust me, everybody is. But it's not so much what happens to you during that bad week. It's what do you do next defines you. And what defines them, what I see, is reconsolidation and validation of their process, and just they keep moving forward into it. They keep doing it. They know it works. They have bad days, okay? But then they make it work. So this system has been on now since the beginning of the week. It started on Sunday. And so this is what they've made in 1 week. Okay, this is how many pips. This is how many. This is the amount of profit that they've made using one standard lot, or one standard lot, one micro lot, and they increased their account of $1,000, 2.9%. Okay, it's about 29 bucks. So we have a decision to make. I've turned off the DEX, the Max Prime for right now, and I know this is going to be difficult, but I want you to, if you want to leave, and I can completely understand, I can give you services to anything else that we have. You want to test out 5-minute signals for Nadex? You want to do simply Forex on the Forex side, Dex Trader? Those are the things that I have to offer you. I can stop your monthly payments, do things like that. It's completely up to you. But if we stop monthly payments, then I'm going to stop the Max Prime stuff for you, so you can wait and see if it all turns out. But let me tell you, if you stick it out, everybody that's here, where you normally would be paying 20% for future, the 47 bucks you're spending right now a month, you'll never have to pay more for. So when you are finally making $29, $30, $50, $100 a day, a week, a month, you're making $5,000, $6,000, where you'd be normally paying $1,000, $2,000 for or $1,000 for processing. You're still paying 47 bucks. So everybody from this point on is only going to pay a monthly fee. If you stick it out with us, if you stay part of the team, if you stay part of this network, and just keep things moving, that's my guarantee to you. And a gift, if you will, for working with me over my issues and condolences of situations. The situation being that there's been a lot of stuff that's happened. If we join forces together with this process, they look like they've been doing very well. This week has ended very, very good for them. And I've seen all the previous history, and it's all the same. It was much, much higher. The reason being is that I choked them down a little bit to tell them only go one micro lot. Nobody really does this in this industry. Everybody, they're trying to make their money. So what they did is that they seen, and this is what really impressed me with them, is that they seen that there was a value here, because they came in and said, all right, we'll do that. We'll break it down to a micro lot, but then we'll join the service as well and multiply our stuff up. That's how they make their money. So they're going to make money from the same system. So am I. So are you. So I'm going to attach everybody on Sunday night to this process of the DEX pips, which now, well, sort of in a way, I'm going to bring it through Max Prime. In fact, I'm going to copy this service into my copier. I know, right? Sounds like a copy of a copy of a copy. We also had a small issue that when resetting the system last week, the Max Prime went to risk balance multiplier instead of lot multiplier. So some of the trades were coming over at 2 micro lots instead of 1. We have fixed that. We have found what that issue was, isolated that, paused everything. We're keeping it paused for the rest of the day, so no more trades will come out for today. I wish we would have joined with these guys quicker, but hey, it is what it is. We're hoping that next week we're going to have a grand week. I want to open this up to all of you. It's going to go into the Max Prime. If you have Max Prime, just stay exactly where you're at. Okay? We're going to turn this thing on and turn it on. Even though we're going to have some losses, we're going to have some down times. We're going to have some pairs that go into the bottom. We're going to have some that are going to rise to the top. The risk management is pretty moderate. Okay? So there's risk involved. Okay? You might lose 50, 60 pips in a run, but you're going to make 10, 15 other trades with 50, 60 pips as well. Okay? There are values around 1 to 1. Okay? They're not 1 to 2, but they have so many trades that are available, as you see for the trade history. Okay? That it comes out pretty good. Now, when we're marginalizing this out, you can also, inside your system for you, to be able to not take certain trades, not take certain pairs. So if we see a pair that's not doing very well, we can even not use that pair in our own assessments, right? Lastly, I'm always, always, always looking for talent to be able to trade. And there's people that come to me. As you see, we have many trading systems in there. This is over one person. This is one person coming in and saying, I can trade. And unfortunately, they found out the hard way over the past week what life is like in the world of trading, okay? Because they had a bad week as well as I did. Well, they had it bad for trading. I had it bad in life, which comes back to trading. All right. So let me see here. All right. So that's basically all I have for you. So your options are, you could stay, go over to Dex Trader, go do anything else you want to go do. I'm not stopping the service. We're gonna break through this. We're gonna break through that sound barrier. We're gonna make this thing happen. So I hope that explains to you exactly what's happened. I hope that you all rally around this opportunity and we push forward. For those of you that are very devoted to this process, I thank you so much. I really do. And I hope appearing to you in all my glory of being sick and still pushing forward through all this process will at least convince you that I'm real and transparent. And I hope that this finds you well. I'm Max Farrell. This is DexTrader.com. This is your daily update for March 23rd, 2018. And as always, trade well.